Now, you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
I'm John Perry from Bodegas Franco-Españolas, Export Area Manager for the U.S. You can find out more about our wines at the following webpage, www.franco-españolas, FrancoEspanolas.com. Thank you.
I have to tell you, as far as red wines are concerned, as long as I've been a wine consumer, it's really hard to beat the red wines from Rioja. And as our guest, John Perry, Export Director for Bodegas Franco-Españolas, will tell us, that the secret in the area, and we'd like to turn you on to the secret, are the Reservas and the Gran Reservas, the aged wines. And John, thank you so very much for joining us today. Could you tell us exactly what city are you talking to us from? Are you at the winery, or do you live near the winery?
I live walking distance. Well, thank you, Lynn. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, I'm in Logroño. Logroño is the capital of La Rioja. It's a small province in the north of Spain. And I am walking distance from the winery. It's really, I'm a lucky guy to be able to walk to a great place. It's early 20th century building, late 19th century. It's the typical industrial architecture from the early 20th century. A great stone building with 30 oak vats, 30 oak vats with 30,000 liters of capacity. Where we ferment our wines, and it's our classic or very traditional winemaking technique. Yes.
So does the very traditional winemaking techniques in aging the Red Riojas include what kind of oak? What's the source of the oak?
All right. In Rioja, there's two. Every winery has their own, process.
Okay.
The Regulatory Council, for the wines to be labeled Rioja, they have to be aged in barrel, depending on their category, Crianza, Reserva, or Gran Reserva. They have to be aged for different periods of time. You can use different oaks. So you have mainly French oak and American oak. In our case, we use American oak because in Rioja, there is a microclimate compared to the rest of Spain, so our temperatures are cooler. So that means that our grapes have lower pH, they have more acidity, and the American oak brings in a lot of sweet tannins and sweet aromas, sweet spices like cinnamon or coconut. And when that cinnamon and coconut aromas is blended into the nice red fruit aromas of the Tempranillo grape variety, it comes out, or it results in very, very round wines that have a touch of sweetness from those oaky aromas and a nice sharp acidity as well. So they're dry red wines with just a touch of oak. Yes. So the American oak we use. Mm-hmm. A lot of other wineries will use French oak or Romanian oak.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what I was thinking, is that you were going to say American oak. And
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I know that the winery produces also white wine and a rosé, and the white that I had was absolutely delicious, wonderful Rioja Royal White, and the Diamante, which I understand the winery gave a couple bottles to Queen Elizabeth II during her recent
Diamond Jubilee.
Yeah. Which is off dry. So many people like off dry white wines. We won't say the word sweet because it has such negative connotations to Americans, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But the wines are so fresh and lovely. And do you have any idea what on the Rioja, the white, Royal White, what is approximately the retail in the United States?
Okay, we've positioned this wine in the under $10 category. So what we really want, Rioja is a region that's known for its red wines.
Yeah.
Now there's a big boom in white wines.
Yep.
And what we want to do is we want to get people to try these wines because they're really spectacular, especially the vintage wines, the unoaked Riojas like the Royal White you're talking about. Those are stainless steel fermented. They're very light, very crisp, very modern style, clean, citrusy. And they're just very, very popular wines here in Spain, and we think they should become popular in our export markets as well.
And the grape variety is Viura?
Yes, okay. Here in Rioja, to be labeled Rioja, you can only use certain native varieties. In reds, it's Tempranillo, Garnacha, Mazuelo, and Graciano. Those are the traditional varieties. And in white, it's Viura and Malvasia. Viura would be the dry variety, like the Royal we were talking about before, and Malvasia is a sweeter variety. So Diamante, which is the off-dry, is a blend of 50% Viura and 50% Malvasia. So the dry grape with the sweet grape.
I cannot tell listeners strongly enough that if you like dry white wine and light dry white wine, that this Rioja Royal White from Bodegas Franco-Españolas is fantastic. Fantastic price, fantastic wine in the bottle. And is a rosé also brought into the United States, a dry rosé?
Not at this moment, but we do produce 3 types of rosé here at the winery in Franco-Españolas. One would be a dry Tempranillo Viura. Another one is like the Diamante, is an off-dry.
Okay.
And then we have like a blush rosé. It's more of a color thing. Now there's a trend for lighter rosés.
Okay.
So we do one like that as well. Here it's called clarete. That's the traditional way of calling it here. It's called the little clear one, clarete. And
of course, and you do a lot of you invite people to the winery a lot, and you do experiences at the winery. And so if people are traveling in Europe and they visit the winery, they would be able to buy the pink, but one of the pinks. But in the United States, the Rioja Royal White, the Diamante, and then we have the Rioja Bordón, Crianza, Reserva, and Gran Reserva are all available. Talk to us about these fantastic reds.
All right. Riojas are known to, as I said before, as a red wine region. We also do the whites, as you now know. And the reds, it's all based on an aging category. So we have a Crianza, which would be the, let's say, first level of aging. Then you have Reserva, second level, and Gran Reserva, the very aged wines in very good vintages. All right, so we have the Crianza. The Crianza would be an easy drinking style. It tends to emphasize fresh fruit over oak, but it is aged in oak for a minimum of 12 months. 12 months is the minimum. So all the wines from Rioja that have been aged 12 months in oak are in the category of Crianza.
Okay. Then
we have the Reserva. The Reserva is aged as well for a minimum of 12 months in oak, but it has to be a 3-year-old wine, so it needs, this is what the Regulatory Council says, it needs 2 years in bottle as well, so it has to be 3 years old with at least one of them aged in oak in order to be called a Reserva. In our case, because we are a traditional winery, we exceed these minimum aging requirements. All right. So in our case, Rioja Bordón Reserva is aged for 24 months in oak, and an extra 2 years in the bottle, just to round it and give it that nice finesse. If you try the Crianza and then you compare it to the Rioja, Crianza is more of an everyday wine, a little bit fruitier, and the Reserva is more elegant. It has more finesse, more body. So aging the wines really, Tempranillo is a variety, which is our main variety, that's very age-worthy. All right, and then we have the Gran Reserva, which, according to the Regulatory Council, must be aged for a minimum of 5 years, okay? 2 of these must be in oak and 3 of them in the bottle. In our case, what we do is we do 3 years in oak, in American oak as well, and 3 years in the bottle. So it's minimum 6 years old at the time of release.
And the current vintage of Gran Reserva that's available in the United States, is it 2004?
2004, yes. 2004 was considered an excellent vintage here in Rioja. It's a 5-star vintage.
Well, it delivered 5-star taste in the glass. It was just phenomenal. And what approximately is the price in the United States of that?
That would be around $24.
Unbelievable.
Per bottle, yes.
Unbelievable.
Those wines, yeah.
I almost want to say you guys are crazy.
Well, this is what Rioja is known for all over the world, for our awesome price-quality ratio. I mean, we're making awesome wines, and you can find wines in this style for triple the money at a retail store. And plus, they're very food-friendly wines. So you're talking about Crianza. It would be good with everyday wine, with Indian food even. I mean, cheeses, everything. Then you have the Reserva would be something to bring to a dinner party, with friends. Very elegant, and at the same time, you're saying that you're, a smart buyer. You're buying a very good wine at a nice price.
Yes.
And then the Gran Reserva would be a special occasion wine, for fall and winter with stews and lamb, and it's very complex. So it really adds to those foods that you're having.
The Crianza that's available in the United States right now, I don't remember. Is it 2010 or?
No, the Crianza right now is 2007.
Oh my Lord! Okay,
yes. And
what's the price of the Crianza?
All right, the Crianza would be at a price point of around $10.99 to $12.99. So more or less, that's the price.
Okay, and the year of the Reserva in the U.S. right now?
All right, the Reserva right now is 2006, but we're changing to 2007 probably by March, April this year.
And what's the price of the Reserva?
The Reserva would be around $15, $16 a bottle.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one, but a very high alcohol, thick, dense Cabernet New World or Merlot New World doesn't turn me on nearly as much as a glass of Rioja. I just can't emphasize enough, people. Go out of your comfort zone. You don't need to know Spanish to just be looking for Crianza Reserva or Gran Reserva and the Rioja Royal White. John Perry of Bodegas Franco-Españolas, thank you so very much for your time today on Wine and Dine.
Well, thank you for your interest in Bodegas Franco-Españolas, and I hope you continue enjoying our Rioja.
Oh, we will, and we will have links up for people to learn more. And like I said, the wines are available nationally in the United States. Their wines are available internationally if you're listening from another country, and they welcome visitors to the winery. We'll have links up for you to learn more on Wine and Dine.
Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to news and talk directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.